2 on, nobody out. Chapman to center field, hit it well. Bay going back. Bay at the wall. It is gone! Chapman, a 3-run homer. It just wouldn't come down. His 3rd of the series. And we got ourselves a 1-run game.
Now, back to the morning roast with Bonte and Shasky.
Well, Matt Chapman's playing like no gangster, that's for sure, as a 50 Cent song blares through the airwaves. He's playing like a gangster. Right now, I'm sure he didn't want to leave Pittsburgh after hitting 3 home runs during that big-time series. What a series it was. It's the Giants have won 6 of 7. They've won the final 2 games in dramatic fashion in Pittsburgh. And Matt Chapman is as hot as they come right now in the month of May. Batting .289, 4 homers, 13 RBIs, and more impressively, doing it again in the field. And he makes his morning roast debut. Matt Chapman, good morning. Thanks for joining Joe Shasky, the Butcher, and Bonte Hill. How you doing this morning?
Hey, I'm doing good. Appreciate all the love. How you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing great, man, and we're enjoying watching you play. And it felt early on, and maybe you can tell us if this is true. I'm sure it's tough to endear yourself to a new organization and a new team as you come back to the Bay Area. But you go to Toronto, leave in Oakland, you come to the Giants, signed a big money deal, 3 years, $54 million. It felt like you were pressing early on, and all of a sudden your season has turned around. Can you talk to us about the struggles and trying to get through the struggles? Was it more so trying to endear yourself to this organization and this fan base? Were you trying too hard? Do you feel like yourself was pressing?
I'm sure it's a little bit of everything. New division, new team, new teammates, trying to, and I also think part of it was I was hitting the ball hard and not getting any luck. So I think that my numbers didn't reflect how I was playing, to be honest with you, but I also definitely think that, you want to come in and make an impact right away. You want to help be one of the guys to lead the charge, and, I'm no stranger to putting too much pressure on myself, that's for sure. So I'm sure it's a little bit of everything, but, once you start to feel comfortable and, I start to feel like I'm starting to, play like myself and get into the flow of things a little bit, you relax a little bit, get some more confidence, and you kind of get to be yourself. So definitely feel comfortable here, definitely excited that, I was able to help us, over this last week or so, and, just want to be one of the guys that is able to help us win baseball games.
Matt, I don't know if you know this about Bonte, but he's big into the swag, right? He's big into the swag. And you rock the orange undersleeve with the orange glove and the orange shoes. He's feeling that. I just want you to know.
No, you know what else I'm feeling, though, Matt? It seems like you're a guy, and it kind of reminds me in a way of Matt Williams, who's on the staff, where Matt Williams, growing up watching him play third base for the Giants, it was like, you just didn't see anything. He was quiet. He just went about his business, and he loved baseball. And we were talking about this the other day with you, Matt, Shasky and I, where it's like, look, he may be pressing, but at least I know that guy's going to give me everything I have, and it looks like it cares so much. Yeah. So it is good to see a guy like you get rewarded, because it feels like when you're on that field, it's all business. You're locked in. Where does that come from? Where does that mentality come from, where you just get on that diamond, and you're just playing hard, and there's no nonsense with you?
No doubt. I don't know, man. I think that's just the style of play I've always had. I think watching the guys. I think it's just because the guys that I watched when I was a little kid, that's how they played the game. I think that they all played hard, and they all seemed like they were really tough. And I just wanted to be like those guys and just play the game hard and play the game tough. And even when things weren't going your way, just grind it out. And just be like that. But I think. I definitely love the orange, and I get to throw the orange arm sleeve and the orange cleats in there. And I made that orange glove this off season before I knew what team I was going to.
Now so that's the Wilson A2K or A2000?
That's an A2K, but that one's pretty special. Wilson made me a pretty cool glove, I gotta say.
Yeah, no, I'm big into the gloves. Bonte will tell you. Yeah. I buy a lot of gloves, and then I work them in, and then kids on the Little League team, when they graduate, to like an adult-sized glove, I like to give them one that's already broken in, and yours is very popular. And I'm watching you play third base. You play deeper than most, and you just got great footwork. Yeah. What's the pregame routine for you? Because we watched Brandon Crawford forever use that little red machine and the small little, padded gloves, and we've seen Ron Washington with the paddle gloves. What's the pregame routine for you? Because you've been on fire this week with the bat, but it's the glove and the footwork. Defensively, it's just electric.
Well, I appreciate that. I think the defense is definitely something that's more natural for me. Whereas, I feel like my swing and, is something that I feel like I have to work hard at. Not that I don't work hard on defense. I definitely, I take my ground balls every day. I'd say I do more like footwork and things like that in the off season. But during the season, just because, I want to be in there every single day, and obviously I got to save some of my bullets for the game. But I have a specific routine I do that Bo Mel takes a lot of pride in, hitting me fungos every day. But I do fungos and I start in close and I take grounders at me to my forehand, to my backhand. And then I back up to kind of the middle double play range, do the same thing. And then I go back and do the same thing. And then I work on kind of like on the run throws where I come up through the base. So I'm kind of moving my feet throughout the work. And I mostly focus because I'm not throwing as hard as I do in the game, like in practice. So I'm kind of like over exaggerating using my feet in the practice and trying to use my feet to catch all the balls. And I'm not really I'm kind of making plays harder than they need to be when I'm taking grounders in practice. Like I'll run into short hops or do other things just to kind of like work my feet and work my hands without having to really grind too hard on it.
Now, are you talking and working with Luciano? Because clearly the kid's got a lot of talent, and at shortstop he's made a couple boo boos late in games the last couple of nights. You play with Marcus Semien, who he had a brick for a glove early on and was throwing Scud missiles and has developed into a Gold Glove caliber elite defensive player. Are you working with him? What are you seeing from him? How do you perk him up when he makes a late game gaffe like that? Are you talking to him afterwards and trying to perk this young man up because he clearly has talent? You don't win that game without his base running yesterday.
Absolutely. I've seen it. I've actually, I've had experiences with the shortstops that have played next to me like that with Marcus and actually even Bo Bichette that I played with the last 2 years. I think he was somebody that people maybe knock his defense a little bit, but, watching him work every single day, he learned from Marcus because Marcus went over to Toronto. So, I think hard work can get you a long way, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And I watched Marcus evolve into a Gold Glover. I've watched Bo get better every single year, and I think he has the tools to win one as well. And Luciano obviously is a super talented player, and he makes a lot of good plays throughout the course of the game. And obviously, you focus on the ones that he doesn't make, and especially it's in a pressure situation, a big situation. But, a young player like that, sometimes it is nerve-wracking when you get the ball in those big situations. And, I think he's going to be better for it. And he does work hard. He's out there trying to take ground balls. He's out there working, trying to get better with our coaches. So I think the more he makes those plays and the more confidence he gets, he's going to just continue to get better. And I think sometimes when defense maybe isn't as natural for some guys, it just takes time. And it takes time and experience making those plays, making them at the highest level. So for him, any questions he has for me, I'm there to answer. I take ground balls with him. I pay attention. I watch. So, and obviously everybody was there to pick him up after that one. So I think that he's going to be better for it and will be better for it.
And you guys bounced back in a major way, winning 2 straight games in dramatic fashion after that loss Tuesday night in Pittsburgh. We're talking to Matt Chapman, third baseman here with the Giants. And Chap, you're on fire here, 565 average over the last 7 days, 29 in the month of May with the 4 Jacks here. But I want to ask you about Bo Mel. This is your second time playing under Bob Melvin, and you guys had some really good success with the Oakland A's. Now that you're playing for him again in the orange and black, are you noticing any differences with him? Is he a little more edgier? Is he cooler? Is there any difference with Bob Melvin this time around playing for him with the Giants as opposed to when you were with the Oakland A's?
I wish I could tell you he was a different guy, but he's the same guy, which doesn't surprise me. I think that's why he's had so much success, is he's the same guy every day. He's definitely fiery. He wants to win always. He might not be the most vocal, but you could tell he wants to win. You could feel he wants to win. And there's been times throughout the course of the season where, he does have things to say to us. And it's always, when he speaks, people listen and it means something. So, that was, a big reason why I wanted to come to San Francisco, to be back with him. And, I think that this is the beginning of something really special here, and, this fan base. And, Bo Mel, when I was on the A's, used to get so nervous when we played the Giants, and he wanted to beat him so bad. And now he's on the Giants, and now I think it's the opposite. Now I think whenever we play the A's, he's going to get real nervous, and he wants to beat him so bad.
Will you get nervous playing against? I guess you have experience with the Blue Jays playing against the A's in the American League, so it might not be the same for you, right?
No, I mean, it's definitely, you feel something like, it's exciting to go back and play in Oakland and think about all the good memories that you had over there. And, unfortunately, it wasn't a lot of the same guys that I played with over there, but it was, so it's probably different. But it was, like, I'm sure, we played the Blue Jays this year, and I didn't spend as much time over there, but obviously, I made some friends and, had some good experiences over there with them. We made the playoffs 2 years in a row. So they got a lot of the same guys over there. So it'll be fun to play against those guys, compete against those guys, and, want to go out there and beat those guys so that, we can give each other crap.
Now, you brought up the Blue Jays, Matt, and I was wondering when the Giants signed you, because we know you well from the Oakland A's, and we watched you from afar playing across the bay. But I looked at the numbers last year, and I'm thinking, boy, your numbers were down last year with the Blue Jays. But then we found out, who did we talk to, Shasky? Buck Martinez. Buck Martinez. Yeah. Did he mention a finger injury, and you were never right, but you never complained about it. You just powered through it. So I asked you, Matt, is this the best you've felt since that finger injury, or whenever you suffered that finger injury last season with the Blue Jays?
Yeah, my finger, I messed my finger up pretty good last year for a majority of the year, but I feel fine now. I'm healthy. I was healthy. It took me a little bit this off season to get that right. It just needed rest, but I was fine. Showed up to spring training healthy. I've been healthy all year, so no, I feel really good, and it's nice to feel healthy and feel good. But no matter what, I'm going to play. I'm going to do whatever I can to play, and I'll push through stuff for the team because, at the end of the day, we're here to win baseball games, and it's not all about you.
I'm seeing just baseball in general. It feels like if you have a flatline dugout and there's not a lot of energy, there's not a lot of good things going on the field. And I'm thinking back to the ninth inning the other night with Luis Matos and that double that he hit where he's breaking out of the box and he comes diving into second base and he gets up and he's all fired up after getting tagged in the face even though the ball went awry. And then your home run yesterday, and I see you coming into the dugout and the camera's watching and everybody's giving you the elbow and you're chopping through, and it just feels like the young guys and the old guys, everybody's coming together. And Ramos and Matos and now Luciano and Bailey last year, it feels like the young guys and the old guys, they're all galvanizing each other. It really feels like something special's brewing with you guys.
Absolutely. I think if you want to be a good team, you got to have your young guys contribute, and you got to have some young guys. They bring the energy. We're feeding off the young guys. Fun to have them around. It's fun to kind of feed off those dudes, and obviously, we got some guys that have been around for a while too. So I think it's a good mix, and we're having a lot of fun. We just joke around that we got some old dudes and some young bucks, man. So it's fun to have those guys around, and I think that they're hungry and they want to go out there every day and prove themselves and help us win. So I love that, and that's how I feel. So it's good.
Before we get you out of here, I got to say, man, Shasky knows me. I love looking ahead at the schedule, and it gets me fired up. When you guys are playing well, I start scoreboard watching or schedule watching, right? And you guys are in New York City to play the Mets. It's a big-time rivalry here with the East Coast, West Coast. And then you come back home, you're playing the Phillies, the Yankees, got the Diamondbacks and the Rangers. We're going to find out a lot about the 2024 San Francisco Giants. But this is exciting to play exciting baseball here. But I got to ask you, because we haven't asked you about it, the play you made to end the game on Tuesday, on Wednesday night. I was asking Shasky, what slows up? I mean, you stab at the ball, you got to make a play, you barehead it, you throw a seed to first base, no hop the pivot. I mean, what is going through your brain? Because I know if we were out there on the diamond and we're not Major League Baseball players, but I would speed up, I would box the ball, probably would have ended up in a dugout somewhere. How do you keep your cool on a play like that?
Thing. He's so cool to cap right now. He'd be running into the dugout.
Happens. It's crazy how much goes through your head, but how fast it all happens. But first off, I was pissed I didn't catch it, and then I knew that it hit off my glove, and I knew it was close because it didn't feel like. Because it felt like I almost caught it, and it didn't kick or anything. I felt like I knocked it down. So I just wanted to find the ball, and I knew Joey hit it really hard. So I was like, yeah, I'm just going to chuck this thing over there. And I was a little surprised that I was able to throw him out still, because I got the throw off, and then I didn't know how much I got on it because it all just happened so fast. But Lamont catches it, and then it was like, let's go. I wanted to win that game, and after that night before, it's like last thing I want to do is let these dudes creep back in this game. Doesn't matter if there's 2 outs. Like, let's get this thing over with.
Chapman, we've been really, really enjoying watching you play. Yeah. And I got to say, you've been here before in the Bay Area. So this is the one question on the way out the door to just fire everyone up and divide the entire Bay Area.
Oh, no, don't do it.
What is your burrito spot?
Okay.
Where do you go get burritos?
I was a little worried
when
there,
you're
Matt.
in the Bay?
I was worried.
What's your go-to?
Where do I go get burritos in the Bay? Wow. I don't know. I think I need the people of the Bay to tell me where to go get the best California burrito.
So what is your go-to dish since you've been in the Bay for so long? What is the one spot?
True.
Yeah, what is the one dish? Is it Italian? Is it Chinese food? Is it seafood?
Yeah, I know. There's so much good food. It depends, but I would say that there's this Cuban restaurant by where I used to live, and because I actually lived in San Francisco when I played with the A's.
Huh.
But I'm blanking on the name of it right now. But it's this Cuban restaurant that has this really good food. I don't know why I'm blanking on the name.
Trust me, our listeners will find out. They will find out what the Cuban restaurant is, and we'll get back to you on that one. Everybody out there,
is it El Nuevo?
El Nuevo?
No, I gotta look it up. I gotta have my notes.
Next time.
No, it's all good. It's early out there. It's New York City.
We'll do rapid fire next time. We'll ask you music. We'll ask you the whole thing.
But Chap, no, seriously, it's good to talk to you. You're an easy guy to root for.
Yeah, hell
we
yeah.
love the fact that you're making plays. We're talking to Fleming, and he said, man, it just feels like Chapman's pressing a little bit, and you've turned your season around in a heartbeat. If you're swinging a good bat, 3 straight games with a home run. Let's make it 4 today against the New York Mets. Why not? Matt, thanks so much for the time today, man. Thanks so much for the time. It's really good to hear your voice, and you keep making plays out there. Giants fans are excited. They're excited about this team right now, man. You guys are playing well.
Thank you. Yeah, it's an exciting time, and we're just getting started, so it's fun. Thank you for having me.
Anytime, Matt. Thank you for coming on, man. Matt Chapman, third baseman, Gold Glove winner. He said, we're just getting started. I like that kind of talk.
I forgot about Bo Bichette completely.